Hello, bonjour les amis. My name is Junior Nkana Bassi. I am a 19-year-old French-Canadian university student studying natural sciences at UCL, and welcome to my channel. So what can you expect out of this channel? Well, let's just say I'm a man of many passions, and one such passion is football. Football, soccer, le foot, calcio, football, whatever you want to call it. A beautiful game. It's something that, like most people, is something that I've been playing for ever since I was a very young boy. And I've had the tremendous opportunity and privilege to play it at a relatively high level. I feel like, especially when I was a lot younger, I didn't really appreciate the nuances and the complexity of the game. And like most people, as more so after the players themselves, the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Neymars, and the flicks and tricks and whatnot. And I didn't really truly, have a passion for a club. But obviously, as I've become a student of the game, so to speak, I've matured in my ways and become a cultured footballing fan. And as a result, I've got my teams. As I previously said, I'm French Canadian, and so obviously my national team alliances are France pour les Bleus and pour les Rouges du Canada. Let's go. And well, where to begin? Let's start off with the first one. So a little bit about me. I was born in France, so France will always have a place dear to my heart. And obviously, the French national team, les Bleus, being the powerhouse of world football, means that there's a couple of expectations that come with it. So France is always expected to go, far in whatever tournament it may be, whether it be the Euros, the Nations League, the World Cup, whatever it may be. And so obviously, when I go into tournaments, I always cheer them on as hard as I can. Now, as I previously stated, I'm also Canadian, hence where the accent comes from. So as a result, as of late, obviously, the boys, les Rouges, have been doing pretty well. And so, in fact, as we're recording this, I'm recording this very early, in the early morning hours of a Monday. And so, 2 days from now, Canada will be playing its first World Cup game since 1986, if I recall my facts correctly, against Belgium. So obviously, as of recently, the Canadian men's national team has done exceptionally well. So obviously, listen, I'm not saying I'm hopping on the bandwagon, but I've always believed. And so obviously, my nuances and my alliances have obviously changed, and I feel like, especially now supporting Canada, it's been different in that, I remember at the 2018 World Cup when I think Panama was facing England and they were getting absolutely smashed. Well, I think it was 5-0 or something. And I remember it was a free kick. They got one, they whipped one in, they scored a good goal, and the fans was an absolutely berserk maniac pandemonium. And obviously at the time I understood the footballing implication, the importance of that moment. But even still, I would have thought, relax there, you guys are getting smacked 5-0, relax there, it ain't that deep. But obviously now, seeing how much it's meant to the Canadian people, and seeing how much the Canadian men's national team, the brotherhood, so to speak, has come and has had to endure over these last year and a half plus, in qualifying and everything. I feel like I just understand what those I feel like I understand what those Panama fans were going through, and on that fateful day in 2018. And listen, I'll be doing the same. Listen, I can't say that if Canada listen, we're playing Belgium on Wednesday, and if Canada scores and it's 3-0 down, you know what? I may celebrate like that. With Canada going into the World Cup, obviously we're not favorites and whatnot. And so I feel like it's weird because obviously every time I go into a tournament, you're supporting France. I'm always expecting them to, push semifinals, like minimum is okay. You've been decently for yourselves. Whereas this time around, I feel like Canada just makes it out of the group. That's massive, right? So my expectations for this World Cup are completely different than what they would normally be. And so as a result, I feel like, I don't know, I've been able to, especially in the last year or so, I've been able to appreciate the beautiful game for what it is, the nuances, the fact that, the little guy appreciating the other stuff. Obviously, growing up in Canada, it's not that, you've got the rich history of, this is my great-grandpa supporting and everything. You sort of support the big teams. Everybody in Canada, all my friends, they all support, your Liverpool's, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and so on and so forth. Whereas now that I've been here in Britain for quite a bit, you've got more people who support Blackburn, Millwall, so on and so forth, the smaller guys. And I guess being in North America, I never truly was able to understand passion behind supporting the smaller teams. Obviously, I know that it's your local team and so on and so forth. But now with Canada and seeing how we're let's say underdogs in terms of the world stage, but being able to appreciate and come together as a nation to support our boys going up here and starting in a couple hours, in less than 48 hours. I truly have come to understand and appreciate what it means. Now, in terms of the club scene, my team is PSG. It's a complicated one. So since I am French Canadian, it's a funny story. So when I was younger, I'm talking about kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and whatnot. I was obviously going to school in Canada and whatnot, going as a wee little bitty junior there, was going to school. Everything was fine. However, I remember all the time, and I'm sure if I would ask my friends back then, my friends today, and ask them how I was, I'd always make a point to be like, me, moi, en fait, non, moi je suis pas comme vous, moi je suis français, moi je suis français. Ouais, c'est ça, en fait, je suis né juste à l'extérieur de Paris. Moi, Canada, foreign concept to me, I just so happen to live here. I'm a resident. Ok? Moi, je suis français, ouais. Vive la France, vive la République et vive la Révolution. Allez, je suis français, je suis parisien, et j'ai toujours été parisien, je serai toujours parisien, je suis fier de parisien. Allez, Paris. So, obviously, as I've went on into to mature and I became more aware of football, obviously I saw, hey, I gotta find myself a club team. Before then, obviously, I was sort of supporting. I wasn't really supporting a team, I would say. By the time I probably would have told you I supported Barcelona, but it's more so I supported Messi, and Messi just so happened to play for Barcelona, so I supported by Barcelona. But when it came time to support my team, even so, sort of before then, I remember the first instance I remember was 2014. So this would have been right after right after the World Cup, or I think it was the season prior to the World Cup. So 2013-14, I remember Neymar's first season at Barcelona. I remember PSG played Chelsea in a Champions League, I think round of 16, and boy oh boy, when I mean it was, I remember that time went to the wire. It was intense. I was like, whoa, PSG, a French team that's decent in the Champions League. Sign me up. Where do I go? So ever since then, I've gone slowly, bit by bit. I've started supporting PSG, and here I am. I'm one of them, and not gonna lie. Does it take a toll on my mental health? Absolutely. Is it good for my psyche? Absolutely not. But will I still support PSG? Bien sûr que oui. Allez Paris. And obviously, over the last couple of years, there's let's just say there's been their ups and downs. Now, obviously, I've been in Britain for the last 4 years or so, and so obviously, I have to have a British team here. And well, it just so happens that for me, at least, I'm a Spurs supporter, Tottenham Hotspur. So now, my reasoning for it is a bit wacky, but basically, so I lived in the UK here with my aunt and uncle, and we just so happened to live in East London. Now, the funny thing about it is that literally, kid you not, 2 minutes away from our flat where we were, we're 2 minutes away from the Arsenal Academy Centre. But the biggest stadium, which is where we were, which is in Walthamstow, but the biggest stadium is Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The biggest team is there. Not only that, but it just so happens that Harry Hurricane, the main man himself, Captain England himself, is from Walthamstow. So of course, I have to support the local team. And it just so happens that Tottenham was a local team. So I became a Tottenham supporter. Now, I became a Tottenham supporter. This was, started supporting them right before the miracle run that happened in 2019 where they went to the final and the shenanigans and all there. So, obviously, being a Tottenham supporter, it's not Tottenham, I understand, the memes, the trophy cabinet, we don't have them, blah, 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 blah. But it's, I don't know, being here, having the team, English football truly is a sight to see, and is being even, I guess I won't say that I'm a true diehard Tottenham supporter for sure. PSG is obviously my number one, but what I would say is that I've adopted them. They've moved me. Tottenham has moved me, and so I certainly say I've adopted. Hopefully, they've adopted me into their family. I like Tottenham and whatnot, and so much so, the North London derby, the rivalry, I've become enthralled. As a PSG supporter, obviously the biggest game for PSG is the Classique against Marseille. But I don't know what it is about me. It's Arsenal Football Club, man. Oh my goodness. The fans. Oh, the toxicity, the most toxic fans in football. Oh my, I hate Arsenal more than I hate Marseille. Because obviously Marseille, you know, especially last year, I think they've only won one classic in the last 10 years or something like that. I mean, listen, for PSG it's a historically big game, the Classique, but in reality, you know, for PSG it's a regular old game. It just so happens that it's a bigger team, right? But the North London derby, obviously, you know, I guess you could argue that Tottenham are the underdogs and the little brothers and whatnot. But it just, I don't know, it's just something about Arsenal just grinds in my gears now. And the fans, man, the fans, it's something. But you see, it's the stuff like this, the nuances, the passion, the enthusiasm about the game that I just love about the British game. And it truly is something that you have to be here to understand it. Obviously, being across the pond back in Canada, something you read about, you see on YouTube, on AFV TV, the banter, so on and so forth. But being here, seeing the fans, seeing, you know, the Arsenal supporters, you know, walking, going on the underground and seeing everything, it's just different. It's a different experience. And if you could, I'd highly recommend you coming over. Now, as I said earlier, I'm a man of many passions, and another passion is anime. And listen, the anime my first anime, Naruto. Oh my goodness. Where to begin? Where to begin with Naruto? Naruto is... honestly, Naruto is my first anime, and I owe some of the man I am today to Naruto. The lessons, the philosophies, the way, the work rate, everything. Some of the stuff in Naruto truly is something that I take dear to my heart, and I carry on my day to day and try to put these things into practice. The lore, the story, just everything about Naruto is truly is a masterpiece by Masashi Kishimoto. And honestly, I have nothing but good things to say about it. The memes, Naruto has become a part of my daily lexicon. Believe it. Oh my goodness, believe it. The jutsus, everything, the wrestling, everything. It's something that just. I can't explain it. The love I have for Naruto truly is something that I will truly cherish. It's one of those things that I'll be able to say to my children's children, saying that Naruto was a vibe, bro. Naruto was a vibe. And yeah. So what can you expect from this channel? So obviously I said that my main passions are football and anime, and so for sure what I'll be doing, I'll be making football content. I'll be hopefully doing football reactions, live streams, post-match, pre-match analysis, whole shebang. With the World Cup coming in now, I'll be streaming some games. With anime, if you guys want to, I'll do anime reviews, watch along reaction videos, whatever you want. And you know what, even as I'm a uni student, if the people want it, if you really want it, I might even throw a couple uni vlogs in there, all right? But only if, all right? Listen, I'm a man of the people. If the people want, I will deliver, all right? And with that, if you guys have any suggestions or any video suggestion ideas that you'd like me to deliver on, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And I'll make sure to go ahead and read them and hopefully try and implement them. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And remember, stay safe, stay kind, stay blessed. Godspeed.